Coming at y'all Monday, April 14th. This is the third ever episode of the Best in DMV Picks podcast. The title is NBA Playin / Playoff Preview. I'm the host. My name's Gabriel Parise. I want y'all all to follow my Instagram. It's at Best Picks Best Picks in DMV. Make sure y'all follow that. That's where all the final plays are posted. And like today, we're just doing a preview, so everything that we talk about isn't part of any finalized plays. Once again, like I said, that's definitely finalized on my Instagram every day throughout the NBA playoffs. So make sure y'all tune in as well as the NBA playing. I'm here with my co-host, TJ Virgil.
What up, world? Hope everybody's feeling good tonight. Hope y'all are getting ready for these NBA playoffs and play-ins. You know what I'm saying? We about to get y'all hip to some new stuff, so rock with us for a few.
The first thing I want to say is sorry about not being able to come at y'all with the Final Four preview that we were supposed to do. Unfortunately, our producer, Ty, had some unexpected surgeries that he had to go through. The good news is that he's back intact and ready to roll, so we're definitely going to come at y'all with much more.
I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm sorry to cut in. I'm back. I'm back.
I'm
back, y'all. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, bro.
We need you.
Thank you.
And that once again, that's Ty. That's the producer. He's with Virgil Photography, so he does pretty much everything as far as podcasts are concerned. He also does some other stuff. We'll get into that a little later on in the episode. But for right now, like I said, I'm sorry that we had to miss that. We had a good podcast playing for y'all that day, for sure.
Yeah.
But the good news is TJ's bracket came through. His plus 350 Florida.
Hey, y'all might listen. Y'all might want to follow with us. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that we just pulling this stuff out of osmosis. We know a little bit about what we talking about, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Florida. Shout out the whole NCAA. You know what I'm saying? All of them. Yeah, I picked them to win. And they did exactly that. So here we are now. We about to get into some more picks with y'all. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to give you your due on that. You
Appreciate
definitely deserve
it.
He also had 3 of the Final Four selections come through. It was chalky, but it's still good to be able to do that. That's why he's my co-host. Like I said on his actual 420 Friendly podcast, make sure y'all definitely keep up with that. He doesn't even really handicap too much, you know what I mean? He really depends on me for that. He more just follows it, but his input's very important because he knows sports pretty well. So he was still able to predict the NCAA tournament winner. So that's really why he's part of my part of the show and definitely gonna be my co-host for the future. So definitely pay attention to his future picks today. I definitely think they are just as important as everything I have to say. So just make sure you know that. But with that said, let's go ahead and get to the agenda for today. The first thing we're going to do is get to the NBA play-in. We're going to go ahead and preview the 2 games out of all the NBA play-ins, but 2 out of the 4 that are set for now. We're going to dive into detail a little about them and tell you what we're leaning towards. After that, then we're going to actually preview 3 out of the 4 NBA series that are already set. Once again, there's 4 series set. We're going to get into 3 out of 4 of them. Then we're actually also going to give you a quick prediction on who will win basically the whole finals and get to the championship, and we're going to give you a sleeper to look forward for in each conference as well. And then after that, we're going to, as we usually do at the end, give out some future plays with our $100 fantasy plays. So hopefully they come through. They go a little bit better than the tournament plays, even though we pretty much
wasn't too bad. We just listen not to jump, backtrack or whatever, but y'all know there's 60, 70, 80 games for the NCAA tournament. It is hella hard to pick every single one of those games right. So
yeah, I definitely know what you're saying. And just for the record, I started giving plays out every day on my Instagram since the conference tournaments. I kept a record of the conference tournament / postseason tournaments in college basketball. So that includes like the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, ACC Conference Tournament. Then we also combined the NIT, the NCAA tournament. It was at a 45 and 40 mark. I think that's overall like 52.9%.
Yeah.
So hopefully for this playing and playoff tournament, it definitely improves. But 52.9 is still profiting. But it definitely could have went better. Had a tough stretch in the beginning week. The round of 64 and round of 32 was a little tough, but definitely bounced back all right and definitely did well in the other tournaments, like I said, like the NIT and CBI and all that. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive into the first game that we're going to look at. Takes place tomorrow. Once again, this is Monday, so even though the podcast does come out tomorrow on Tuesday, this is being recorded Monday, so just keep that in mind.
No, we'll just tell them it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Right.
Because by the time y'all see this, it's going to be Tuesday.
Well,
so
it's only an hour and a half away from Tuesday anyways, technically. Coming at y'all late night, 10:30.
Got to.
But with that said, we're going to get off to the Orlando game. Like I said, first off, I want to say I do love this Orlando team.
They got some ballers.
The only problem is 2 of them are beat up. 2 of them been out. Wagner's been out. Mo Wagner, he's a problem. He averages a nice 12 points, and he plays down low pretty good.
That's my favorite player on Orlando. Yeah, he is a certified bucket.
I love Mo. And then the other guy they've been missing, I believe, is Jalen Suggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been without him. He's been a problem too. He's been missing too for a while.
He's out for the season.
Yeah,
he's out for the whole season.
He's been out at least a month or 2 already too. But yeah, he's gone too. So I would say if they had them 2, I would really like them to make maybe even a run in the playoffs. Last year, they was nice. They got off. I think they finished in 5th, so they were like a 5th seed last year. They didn't. I think it was like a game 7 they lost last year. I forget who they played, but I know they didn't. I think they traded every home game, so they lost on the road every time, but they came through at home every time last year in the playoffs. So they're definitely solid at home. And that's going to play a big role tomorrow because they're at home and they're playing Atlanta, who has a losing record on the road. They're 19 and 22 overall on the road.
Okay.
Not only that, in the past month, Orlando's actually been kind of hot. They're 11 and 5 overall. Okay. Atlanta's 8 and 8, so it's not too far behind, but they're playing mediocre ball. Definitely.
They didn't activate the playoff switch just yet.
Now, the other thing is Trae Young's beat up. His Achilles ain't been too good, so they're dealing with that. The one thing Orlando does is play very good defense. Their defense is unreal. They actually have the lowest opponent's points per game. Do you know that?
I did not know that. That's dope.
I was a little surprised, too. They even under Oklahoma City. But the only problem is they only average, I think, 105.4 points a game. So overall, you know what I mean? It's pretty astonishing that you would have the best defense in the league, but you would still be in the negative in points per.
Score a little bit, basically.
Not even just struggling. I'm saying they're negative points per game. So not only are they struggling, they're literally negative. That's how bad they're. It's beyond struggling. But I'd say a big reason is because they've been missing Suggs and they've been missing Wagner.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They would absolutely turn that negative to a positive immediately.
At least a little bit of a positive, I feel. But I feel like versus Atlanta team, it's not going to be too much of a problem. You know what I mean? Because overall, like I said, Trae Young's pretty much beat up, and his cast ain't really too good this year.
I mean, was it ever?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
I mean, sorry.
Nah, you're right about that.
Don't kill me, Atlanta people, but honestly, they need to get that boy some help in Atlanta. In all honesty, he can't do it by himself. It's just hero basketball ain't what it used to be.
Capella came out there and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, I mean he had a couple bigs that just they kind of ran through him and stuff, and they wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? He needs a Robin to his Batman, and he just doesn't have that.
He definitely would benefit a lot more if he did. He probably wouldn't be so beat up all the time.
Yeah, having to take every single, maybe not every shot, but bruh, if Trae Young ain't shooting the ball on that team,
then
why?
I don't exactly.
Why?
I don't know what they're gonna do. And
that's
the thing is, Orlando plays strap down D, and they play a little physical. So they got people like Banchero coming out there, and then not that Franz Wagner's physical, but he's kind of like Trae Young as far as how he can shoot. Mo's brother. I think he's averaging. I think it was in mid-20s. I could be tripping. Maybe you want to look that up for me real quick. See how much he's averaging for.
Sorry,
I forgot about
we
that.
Both
My
got
bad.
The half-dead phones
but
right now.
I'm pretty sure it's almost like 25 points per game.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I could be
really
wrong
good.
on that. I could be tripping, but overall, regardless of the situation, he is a problem compared to what I ever thought he would be. And for this game, he might be the key factor because you're gonna. And also, of course, Banchero will be. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason, I feel like Wagner's gonna hit some crucial buckets to get Orlando up, and then that defense is just gonna play.
That's what's going to help him coast to the end of it.
Yeah, basically. And the thing is, though, Atlanta is 3-1 all time in the NBA playing, so they have experience. They've won it before. And they actually have been in it all 4 years. I think the past 4 years. I think this is either their 4th straight year or this is their 5th straight.
Nobody wants to be the team that is always in the play-in.
Exactly. So they're used to being here.
But, I mean, hey, like you said, they might be really comfortable in that situation or in that role. You know what I'm saying?
And this is Orlando's this is basically Orlando's first time ever playing in it.
Okay.
So it's going to be huge, the experience factor here, but I just don't think Atlanta's healthy enough to prevail in this situation. And Orlando's been playing good ball. They're pretty good at home. So I think overall, at the end of the day, Orlando's defense is going to be the problem. They're going to be the final factor in it, along with your boy Franz Wagner putting them up from three-point land, even though you like Mo a little bit more, you claim. but at the end of the day, I see the score being around Orlando 103 and Atlanta 90. So we're pretty much looking for Orlando to cover in this game, for sure. Now, the next game we're going to get to is Golden State and Memphis. Both teams in that look pretty healthy. No, there's nothing wrong with either of those teams as far as I know.
And both of those teams are slightly scary.
They really are. Both of them. Memphis definitely disappointed me a little bit compared to what I thought they could be. And Ja's not been playing to his fullest of potential.
But at the end, Ja's going through a lot of distractions right now. That's the main thing with him. Like this man is playing basketball and arguing with the fans and arguing with the media all at the same time.
But to be honest, he kind of reminds me of how like the media would hate on Russ. Like I don't really think the hate should be as high as it is for him. I think he doesn't like the media. And he doesn't cooperate with the media properly, and they have a problem with that. So they try to get on him for anything he does that everybody else does pretty much. Because everything he does, I see everybody else doing.
Yeah, it's amplified.
What does he do that they don't do? And to be honest, I don't even think he does it as crazy as them other people do it. He might do it as crazy because they're telling him not to do it, and he still chooses to do it. But
I like
things.
that. Me personally, I'm here for it. Like,
I'm with that too because he got the mentality exactly, and he knows he's like that. So they can't say nothing to him. At the end of the day, he's not really doing nothing wrong.
He's not.
Like he's really not doing nothing wrong. Not lately. Maybe the little court incident, maybe at the court, like with the kid and all that, was a little out of hand. But who really knows what happened there? But at the same time, I think they blow the Ja stuff up out of proportion. I think they're out for the guy. I think Shannon Sharp started it. He started.
I think you're
all
right
this.
With that.
They was hating on his dad, and Shannon was getting jealous.
They told that man, "You are not a gangster. Stop trying to act like one."
It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? So ever since then, I feel like Ja got a bad name, and it was mainly because of Shannon Sharp, and that was kind of messed up on Shannon's behalf, just because he got embarrassed at the game.
When you have a Hall of Fame player, NFL player, whatever, when you have a Hall of Fame caliber guy saying something, you know what I'm saying? That just carries weight with it. You feel me? Like,
yeah, especially when he's in like the spotlight
that he's in. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
So whatever he says, pretty much the media flows with and people thinks, right? Mm-hmm. They don't really take time to dive into it too deep. But let's not get too much into that. I just wanted to shout out Ja because I fuck with him heavy. You know what I mean? And I like everything he does and continue to do what he does and get better. Right. But with all that said, Golden State right now is 0-3 all time in the NBA playing.
Damn.
Yeah, 0-3 all time in the NBA playing. They even lost to Memphis back in 2020-21 in Golden State.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
And like I said, I love Ja. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. I almost love Jaren Jackson Jr. more than I love Ja. When I went to Maryland, I went to many of those Maryland-Michigan State battles. And I'm trying to tell you, them Michigan State teams was serious. What's the dude that plays on Charlotte? Miles Bridges was on that team. I can't remember the guard. You remember the guard that got drafted by the Wizards that never really made it?
Johnny Davis?
Nah, he was the point guard.
Yeah, he went to Kansas or something.
I can't remember his name right now, but he got drafted by the Wizards. He played on that team. And then, like I said, Jaren Jackson. There's somebody else I'm forgetting too, but there was some dominant Michigan State teams.
Cash.
Bro. Yeah, Cassius Winston. Something like that.
Yep,
he played point, man. They were some serious.
Damn, that's crazy how that just popped into my head.
I saw him play 2 or 3 times, or at least 2. I think it was twice against Maryland. And, man, it was great battles every time. But out of every athlete I seen, Miles Bridges was probably the most craziest looking athlete up close because he was huge. I don't know what it was. But Jared Jackson, he was a problem. He was just tall and he was just lanky. I never thought he would be as good as he was in the NBA. So he really surprised me with that. But I love Jaren Jackson Jr., just putting that out there. And I don't mind Desmond Bane either. But with this game, I just think Golden State's going to be too hard to handle, bro.
Well, I mean, I know you and I talked about this, off camera a couple days ago and stuff, but ever since Golden State made that trade to get Jimmy Buckets onto that team,
man, that's one of my favorite players ever.
This Golden State team don't look the same as it did at the beginning of the season. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they got Jimmy Buckets and they got Wiggins doing good now. They doing real good now.
Yeah, both of them. And Wiggins, he was like, I don't know. I don't want to say that he hit a ceiling for the longest time period, but he just couldn't crack the code of how to level up his game a little bit. But Jimmy Butler gets there and he says, I got you.
It don't matter what team Jimmy's on. He's gonna not only go off himself, but he's gonna make everybody else around him play that much harder.
True leader, absolutely.
It's gonna be like Draymond Green. When you got Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler both feeding that crazy energy, oh my God, I would do anything to play on that team. Like if I was played in the NBA, that's the team I'd want to play on as a team.
Absolutely.
And I hate Golden State. You know what I mean? But at the same time,
you can't hate him no more.
Nah, I still hate him.
With Jimmy Buckets on the team?
I don't hate Jimmy, but I hate Golden State for many different reasons, and I hate Steph Curry. But at the same time, this year we're gonna have to fuck with him.
You can't hate greatness, yo. You can't hate greatness. Plus, his favorite football team is the Carolina Panthers, so he's a great man.
None of that matters. Okay, you can absolutely hate greatness. Okay, a lot of your generation. A lot of them hated Mike. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm happy we talking about that because we ain't really hating greatness. What I hate is the way he plays and the way he changed the game. I don't like the 3-point contest that I watched today. I don't like any of that. I don't like the soft basketball, and I definitely don't like the way he gets away with things. I definitely don't like that type of ball. I like real basketball. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry about that. But like I was trying to say about Steph changing the game, TJ, we don't like none of what we call fairy ball.
I know.
And you know that.
I know.
We don't like 3-point shooting contests. No defense. You can't guard the 3-point shooter because they'll call a foul just for breathing on them.
You right. You are
right. That
right.
type stuff just ruined it. That's why a lot of people don't really watch NBA like that compared to what it once was. Especially regular season. But I feel like during the playoffs, people tune in. Even though they pretend they hate it, when it comes playoff time, people will catch a couple games compared to...
What do you think's going to happen when they add the 4-point line?
That's when I might stop watching the game. But yeah, hopefully that never happens. But I did see a real, doing an April Fool's joke or some shit like that.
Honestly, to be completely honest, I really think that they should do it just for the simple fact
No,
seriously, think about it. Originally, basketball didn't have a 3-point line, right? So for 20, 30 years, there was no 3-point line. Hell, they didn't even dribble, right? Now, there's a lot of dribbling. There's a 3-point line. Fuck it, add the 4-point line. See what happens for a year.
What's weird is I'm like the opposite. I want them to take away the 3-point line and just go back to twos and see who's really balling.
Everybody's already shooting from those same areas.
There's no, I don't think you should get rewarded when you go 10 for 20 from a 3-point land and miss 10 3-pointers even though you made 10. And then
it depends on
because you went 50%. It's ridiculous.
It depends on which one of when did those
And then you got like 3 people that went 10 for 20 or 10 for 17. So overall, they're like 30 for 65 from 3-point land.
I'm with you.
Man, come on, man.
I'm with you.
Man, you weren't even allowed to shoot like that when we were younger. Or even growing up, period. Not even just younger, just growing up. You're still not allowed to shoot like that if you like really
on the team. Yeah, they don't want all the Steph Curry.
But with that said, let's not get too deep into that because I could go on for days about that. But overall, though, Golden State will be hard to handle in this game for sure. In their last 10, they're actually 7-3, and then Memphis is 4-6 in their last 10. So I feel that could definitely play a role in this type of game for sure. So ultimately, I think what's going to happen is in the first half, it might start out a little tight unless Golden State just starts to, launching early, just getting up by double digits, and then it might be hard for Memphis to catch up then. But overall, I think it might be close in the first half, and then midway through the third quarter, you'll probably see Golden State start to pull away. Steph Curry will probably start to catch fire. You know what I mean? It'll be one of those. You'll see Jimmy Buckets and fucking.
I think he's gonna be the one that actually is gonna catch fire.
Jimmy Buckets. I mean, he could. It's time for him to go off.
I think
he's one of my favorite players.
So let's just. I'm gonna jump ahead real quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just go ahead and jump ahead. I know this is kind of out of order or whatever, but all right. Let's say Golden State gets all the way to the championship. I 100% think it's gonna be because of Jimmy Butler.
Hold on, man. You getting too far ahead.
I said if.
No, I'm talking about too far ahead in our podcast. We got time to talk about that.
I know. I'm just saying though. I think
you're giving them hints.
No.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. I just gave him a little if.
But you'll see what I'm saying in a few.
But
overall,
he would be playoff MVP if they end up going to the championship.
Oh, so you think Jimmy is gonna basically be the MVP of the whole?
Absolutely.
Like even the finals.
Absolutely.
They won it. Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be like the year when Iguodala won the fucking finals MVP.
I mean, you probably deserve it. Especially like I told you, just his points aren't the only thing he does.
It's not just the points; it's defense, it's leadership. Period.
Exactly.
It's
the intensity. It's the
fire
he brings to everybody. Like if I was playing for him, I'd probably do everything that I could. Yeah, and some. But like I said, by the end of the third quarter, you'll probably definitely get to see them roll away, and then at the end, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, you'll probably start to see it be a double-digit game. And then from there, it's gonna be kind of hard for them to catch up. I feel Memphis, their confidence is probably gonna go down a lot from that.
I don't feel like Memphis isn't really built to be able to withstand a solid run from Golden State. Like if Memphis doesn't keep it a close game the whole time, it's not gonna work for them. Like we already know, we know what Ja can do, right? He's gonna make some tough buckets. He's gonna get to the bucket, all of that, right? Everybody else, though, little iffy. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well, like I said, Jaren Jackson's going to go off. He can go off, too, but I just don't think when the threes start draining in.
It's not going to be enough.
And they might start getting bodied by, like, Draymond and them. And at the end of the day.
Team morale goes down.
Like I said.
Everybody's pointing the finger at each other.
Yeah. It'll probably be a double-digit game, though, by the fourth quarter. And then they might even start resting players to prepare for the game that's like I think it's on Friday that they'll have to play again Memphis because they're going to have to wait on the loser of Sacramento and Dallas. So they might even start thinking in the fourth quarter ahead of time about that. So that might even be worse for them. But let's go ahead and just give them a little prediction of how we feel like the overall play-in's going to go. Okay. In the East, we're probably going to have Orlando beating Atlanta as far as I do. And then Orlando's going to end up playing Boston in the first round. And then I have Chicago beating Miami. And then I have Chicago actually beating Atlanta and then getting into playing Cleveland. So that's how I feel like the East side of the play-in's going to go. Okay. And then the West side of the play-in, I'm going to go with Golden State beating Memphis. So Golden State will end up playing Houston. And then Sacramento to beat Dallas. And then Memphis will end up beating Sacramento. And then Memphis will end up playing OKC. So that's how I see the play-in going. I'm not big on Chicago or Memphis winning, although I do feel like they have a great shot. But I am big on Orlando and Golden State winning their first game of the tournament 1,000%. I feel like that's real good.
Okay. I like that.
So what you think's gonna happen in the East?
I'm in agreement with you on the Golden State winning the first game and Orlando. I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like the Heat a little bit.
I mean, that game, like I said, I don't got big confidence. I don't blame you for liking Miami in that game.
I don't know. Like, again, I feel like, not to say history repeats itself, right? But, like, I don't know. Just looking at these teams, you're like, bro, who's going to win this, right? Who has the better team?
I think Chicago's building more.
I think Chicago has the better team.
I think they're heading in the right direction more than Miami really is, and like they kind of have a team that's up and building. That's kind of why I went with Chicago.
I feel you. I think Miami's a little hungry.
Even though
right
I could, I think,
trying to get back.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't was shocked at all if Miami even blew them out, to be honest. But I'm gonna go with Chicago in that. Like I said.
Okay.
So
I'm not mad at it.
So you got Miami beating Chicago.
Yeah.
So then who you got between Miami and Atlanta?
You know what? Give me Miami. Give me Miami again.
Okay.
I'm gonna take.
That's how I feel too. I feel like Atlanta's on their way out. Like when they lose, they probably gonna end up losing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we feel the same way about that. And then how you feel about the West
side
with Golden State and Memphis?
I think Golden State's winning that. So I agree also with the Sacramento beating Dallas. However, I think Sacramento might end up beating Memphis.
Okay. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened either. Like I said, I wasn't too big on picking Memphis over Sacramento.
Got some ballers, man.
I know. It's going to be back in Memphis, though. That's the only thing I feel. So it's like back in Memphis. So that's kind of why I went to Memphis with that, with Sacramento traveling there. And I just feel like Memphis is a little bit better at home. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if Sacramento. I feel like they're out for Josh, so I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of seen some weird stuff going on there trying to get him out the playoffs. That's why I like Golden State too, because I know they love to watch them advance. So Golden State playing Memphis, man, the rest of you already know who they're going to be. You got to factor that in. It definitely is true. If you don't believe it's true, you haven't been watching basketball then,
or haven't played basketball.
But but part of the handicapping angle is you got to know which side of the team ref the team's going to be with. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Not just the world, but the NBA itself, which does try to get the world like try to make the most popular picks like they would predict the world will want. But
listen, they say like the most watched playoff viewerships is when Boston's in the playoffs.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know how. Right.
Yeah.
Boston is only but so big of a city, but they say that whenever they're in the playoffs,
right,
they have the highest viewerships.
They have a hell of a fan base in that New England area.
Because you got to think it's New England, so it's more than just Boston. You got the whole Massachusetts, you got New Hampshire, you got all that, you got Maine, all that's. So all that's gonna be Boston fans.
I got you. I'm with you on
that.
But
Boston, but I will say Boston itself also has a strong fan base, like in Massachusetts.
No, they do. They absolutely do.
It gets nasty up there. Those people are diehards, and it definitely.
Those 5 states that you just named, they're not bigger than Miami. They're not bigger. Okay, yes, they're bigger than Miami.
Combined, combined they are, but that's still a fan base. Regardless, that's still a fan base.
I just don't get it.
That's their fan base.
No, Boston does have a crazy fan base.
But like I said, even not including those other states, I would
Duke
say
and UNC in college, like they have fans all over the country, which I
that
understand
too.
And I get that.
Well, you got to remember the Celtics are also the best organization with like the Lakers ever to exist. So of course. And there's a lot of reasons. We ain't gonna get into all that, but you already know where I'm going with that.
I got you.
But that's mainly why this fan base with the Celtics is so high. Like, and they have a great fan base with the Red Sox, even really the Bruins. You know what I mean? And hockey.
That's true.
And the Patriots themselves, which are titled like Ty said, the New England Patriots, would represent the whole area up there itself. So. That does play a factor, too, what Ty's saying with the fan base as well. But overall, fuck Boston. I hate them. You know what I mean? I'm giving them too much credit out there. I hate every team up there.
The real had to show out real quick.
Yeah,
the hell
we
with
can't
Boston.
get too carried away now.
We don't like them
Boston
people
love.
up there.
Yeah. But anyways, Before we get to the next one, we're going to get to the series preview right next. But before that, just remember that if you want to leave a tip, go ahead for any we appreciate any love. No tips are forced or felt even needed. But if you want to show love, it will be highly appreciated, and we will remember who do it. So just make sure that you do it if you're able to and if you feel like it. So the next thing we're going to get to is the first game of the series that we're going to go over. Like I said, there's 4 playoff series, but we're only going to preview 3. The series that we're not going to preview is Indiana and Milwaukee. I kind of personally think Indiana's going to win that, but we're not going to dive too deep into that for the reasons why yet. But I will get on to Indiana for other reasons later on in the show, but I'm not trying to get too far ahead right now.
I got you. All good.
But yeah.
So who's up first?
So New York versus Detroit. New York's the 3rd seed versus Detroit, who's the 6th seed. Both teams, from what I see, are fully healthy. In this series, mainly, I don't think Cunningham, Ivy, and Beasley will have enough to get by Brunson, Cat, and OG. I'm going to let you know that right off break. Mainly because of experience. Like, maybe in a couple years they will, but this is like Cade's first ever performance, and then my man Ivy from Purdue, man, I'm real happy that he succeeded in the NBA. He was so fun to watch when he was at Purdue. I really loved that.
I remember watching him in the tournament. What was it, last year, year or two?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. But overall, man, he's been living up to what they thought he might be, and I'm happy to see that because, like I said, he was one of the. He reminds me kind of like of a Ja Morant, Russell Westbrook type athletic player. He kind of plays like them. But with that said, the main thing Detroit lacks, like I was just saying, is playoff experience. The last time they got to the playoffs was in the 2018-19 season. They were swept in the first round by Milwaukee. And then New York has playoff experience. The past 2 seasons, obviously, they've got to the second round. They beat Philly 4-2 in a series one year. And then Indiana and then Cleveland 4-1 in one series as well. But I will say Detroit actually did beat they did beat them 3-1 in the series. So Detroit actually won. The craziest thing is they won 2-0. They went 2-0 at Madison Square Garden. So they won twice on the road at third place. So
that is interesting. That is really interesting.
That definitely makes it a little bit more spookier in a sense. But at the same time, Madison Square Garden in the regular season compared to the postseason
is a little different.
It's a little different of an animal to face. So I just don't really think that they're ready for that. You know what I mean? I definitely don't think that at all. But overall, the spotlight will be too much for Detroit to handle, like I was saying. And I think this series will be pretty much similar to when they played Cleveland and won 4-1 in that series.
Okay.
Because I even though Detroit won twice in Madison Square Garden, I don't think they're going to win in the playoffs there. And on top of that, I do see kind of Detroit maybe pulling off one game at home because of the simple fact fans are probably going to be excited. They got a good fan base there.
They do.
They might be able to pull at least one off there. You know what I mean? So
they're young. Detroit is young. They're athletic. They can run.
Let me see.
They can run. They can jump. They can do everything that you want a team to do. So
yeah. They're fun. They're definitely fun to watch. Some people were trying to say they were the worst team ever last year. I was just saying, man, they're tanking and just building. If you look at the talent they got, there's no way they're one of the worst teams ever. No, they were bad last year, obviously.
They were young. They were kind of like the Wizards this year. You know what I'm saying? Man. Just young. They got ballers that are still going to develop, and in another year or two, you're looking like, damn, how did this team get to 40, 50 wins?
Exactly. So
they had that's what it was with Detroit. They had the best turnaround in 1 year. Like last year, I think they won like 12 games or something like that. Maybe even not. It was less than that, I think.
Yeah, it was something around that. I can't remember the exact number.
This year, they made it up to like almost 4. I think they actually did make 500, so they won 40. They won at least 40 games. Put them at a solid 4 times better than what they did the prior year, all just from drafting the right pieces. You know what I'm saying? The young core that they had grew up a little bit. They got a little bit older, a little more mature. Developed a little bit.
Yeah, I know how that process works because I rock with OKC.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've grown quite well over the years.
Y'all have done great.
We did it the proper way, too. We built from our talent. We didn't take other talent. We took the dude from a couple talent this year. I'm not gonna lie. We got Caruso. And so we got him from Chicago. He plays a big factor on the defense.
Because
then we also got the dude from the Knicks who's a problem. Hardenstein, he's a problem, bro. So I'm not going to act like this year we didn't go out and give, but we got him for homegrown. I mean, not homegrown talent, but our own talent. With Giddey, we got him for.
The core of that team was drafted.
Yeah, so that still counts in a way towards how we got them, if that makes sense at all. But let's not get too deep on another team, especially the best team in the league. But overall, I do think the Knicks win that series 4-1, as I was saying. But before I get on to the next series, I do want to shout out JB Bickerstaff on what a crazy good job he's done at Detroit. He was at Cleveland. He turned them around the past 3.5 seasons. He did he did leave at the bad time because now Cleveland's in first place. So a lot of people would say maybe that was the right decision. But obviously you see what he's doing with Detroit. So, I mean, is it the right decision? Because
decisions.
You know, it's hard to say because he's still responsible for that Cleveland team, even though he's not with them.
That's how I felt about
Mark Jackson. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that a little bit.
Yeah.
And the good news is, though, like I said, he really got to prove himself this year, and he's done an unreal job. So I wanted to shout him out one time because I love good coaching. He's definitely not talked about enough and should be talked about more. But the next series that we're going to get to is the 5th seed Clippers versus the 4th seed Denver Nuggets. Once again, from what I see, both teams are fully healthy. Or maybe not fully healthy, but no major injuries from what I see.
None of their star players is out.
Yeah, not officially out yet or nothing. Some of them are a little questionable, but none are ruled out officially. You know?
Questionable is just like,
Yeah, but right off the bat, I need to put it out there how hot the Clippers have been. Did you watch the game yesterday? Or at least
I did not. I was yesterday was crazy for shows and stuff. I didn't even get a chance to watch any of the.
Nah, I feel you. There was only one game that really mattered, anyways. But that was the game. It was the Golden State Clippers game, and it went into overtime. It was at Golden State, and then the Clippers beat them in overtime. If it wasn't for that, we'd actually be watching the Clippers playing Memphis tomorrow instead of Golden State playing and watching Golden State actually play Denver. But in a crazy way, I think it worked out better for Golden State. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But overall, like I was saying, I definitely feel that the Clippers are in good position here. They're hot. They're 9-1 in the last 10. And I don't know if you know about the drama that's going on with Denver. Because we was talking about the Denver Clippers series, but TJ didn't get to the proper drama that was taking place in Denver. I could tell he's not really fresh on it. Even though you remember. You don't remember what happened last week?
No. Oh, yeah.
See, I told you wasn't fresh on it. I knew you knew about it. You just weren't fresh on it.
I get 500 points for that.
Yeah. That's why Ty's the producer, and he's also / co-host as well. He just ain't always on the camera. He has to come jump in whenever he hears something going on.
I just hop on in, you know what I mean? I'm the silent partner from behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like TJ, like I was saying, though, they're 9-1. And overall, I think Denver is 5-5. And last week, their coach got fired, bro.
Which is tough.
Why did their coach get fired?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, because I was like, damn, they have a chance at, because a week ago, nobody knew what the comp or what the Western Conference was going to look like, right? Like we had an idea.
Yeah, so you're talking about just because of how close the whole
everybody was
conference
1-2 games away from, saying, each other. So it's like nobody knew. But you knew Denver was at least in position to make the playoffs, right?
They were basically the top 4.
Who the hell fires their coach?
Also, I was going to say, he just got them a championship, 2 years ago?
Right. Exactly.
Year before last?
Yeah.
He got them a championship.
Like,
their first chip ever. Right, their first chip ever.
Did y'all see the meme going around with LeBron and Joker talking at center court of like one of their games? They was saying that LeBron told Joker that he had to fire the coach, and LeBron was like, "Yeah, I did it 6 times. It worked out for me."
Dang.
Hey yo.
Now he really does that though.
Right.
LeBron is the king of that, but whole time though, it is the craziest thing I've ever just about seen. It just makes no sense. I still can't make. I mean, I know the rumors. The rumors were like the players were miserable. I even heard Russell Westbrook was getting treated like above like other players and stuff like that. I have a strong suspicion it might be a little beef between Murray and Westbrook. I think Murray might not like the love that Westbrook is necessarily getting in that organization for what he's done. And Murray's been there for years, and he might not feel like he's getting properly loved. But that's just speculation by me. That ain't official. But what is official is I definitely heard players were miserable, whatever that means. And then, Russ is the scapegoat for everything. So it kind of seems like they're blaming Russ again.
He gets blamed at
any chance they get. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, if you want to play the most dominant position in sports, you got to be able to handle what comes with it, unfortunately.
But like I said, too, the teams are 9-1 overall. The Clippers are 9-1 in their last 10. In Denver's 5-5 in their last 10. The importance of that really on a scale 1 to 10 to me in this playoff series is probably like a 3 out of 10. But it still factors in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It might not be the biggest factor, but it's still a small factor. And another small factor that still counts is the season series is 2-2, and they split 1 at each place. So the Clippers are definitely capable of beating Denver. And I definitely also think
winning on the road or vice versa.
Exactly. They can even win in Denver. But the major factor, like we were just talking about, is the drama. I just can't see a coach. And not only that, Steve Alderman, I think that's his name. He's never been a head coach, and he's going to be the head coach for this game.
Yep.
Then we got Tyronn Lue on the other side that I think's 27-27 in the playoffs. That's a lot. He might not have the greatest record, but that's a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? That he's coached. That's experience.
First game.
Is he related to Alderman? Used to coach Sacramento back in the day. Is that like his son?
I don't know. That's a good.
You know what I mean?
Observation. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, Alderman used to come. He has.
I don't even know if
his dad
same.
that coached Mike Bibby.
Yeah, it could be though for sure.
I'm almost.
I liked
sure
him because I liked Sacramento back in the day.
Nasty,
I liked Chris Webber, bro.
Yeah, Chris Webber, and then they had White Chocolate out there. You know what I mean?
Jason Williams. They had Mike Bibby. They had Stojakovic.
Yeah,
they had Turkoglu. They had Divac.
They just couldn't get the Lakers.
They had some other. They kept cheating. They kept cheating, bro. But we ain't gonna get into all that.
Kobe and Shaq.
They kept cheating in that series, man. But the major factor, like I said, was gonna be the drama. There's no way that they're gonna be up for a great. If players are miserable like they're reporting, you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, though. They could. It's a weird thing, right? Just imagine having this huge burden lifted off your shoulders. Now you don't got to deal with this dinosaur, old ass, annoying guy.
He ain't that old.
It don't matter. To Jamal Murray, he might be.
I guess. Nah, he ain't. Or who are you talking about? You talking about the dude that got fired, right? Yeah. He's not that old. Huh?
All right. Well, for the sake of my argument, you got this fucking old, annoying mofo that you've been sick and tired of.
But he won an NBA championship, bro.
I don't care.
He already proved. And to be honest,
don't care.
I mean, they're still like the
2 years ago.
I'm with you. All
right, two years ago, bro.
It wasn't even,
and it was their first one.
Right, it wasn't even 5 years.
They could be so happy to finally get that monkey off of their back.
But they didn't even.
That ain't a monkey on the back to me, though.
They didn't even fall off.
To that team, we can't say how they feel.
I guess maybe the
team
players
didn't even
were miserable.
fall off. They were still a dominant team.
They're top 4 in the West right now. Still. That's an accomplishment itself. Maybe they feel like they should be number 1, but at the same time, Joker he took off a lot of games this year compared to like what he normally does. Not like a crazy amount, but at least another I would say 8. I think he's played like 80 games. This year, I think he's only played like 68, 70. I have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. So overall, there's been a little bit more factors and they kind of rebuilt at the same time. I don't even remember really hearing Murray too much about this year, like going off. So he's kind of disappeared.
I mean, all guards are going to disappear a little bit when Russell Westbrook
He still
comes
puts
to your
in
team,
work. Don't get me wrong. Every game here and there, and still averages a good amount. But at the end of the day, it's not like the Jamal Murray that I fully could see like he could fully be. So just at the end of the day, there's way too many factors.
I feel you.
There's no way I could back Denver in that. And then the Clippers, man. I haven't even got to the Clippers, bro. The Clippers, man, they got they got the Claw?
Yeah.
They got James Harden.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Just them two alone. Combination.
Just them two alone. You got the best defender in the league next to maybe the best offensive player in the league.
You can argue it, and I'm not debating that.
And when I say best offense, I'm not the best scorer, but he pretty much could average a triple-double too while being the leading scorer like Russ. Like
you could make an argument for James Harden being one of the better scorers in the NBA. Absolutely.
And I feel like this Clippers team could go far. You know what I mean? I feel like they're deeper than people realize even. I really do. Like they're sleeping on them big time. And they got Powell, who we haven't even mentioned. He puts in work.
You're right.
Nah, he does. He really does. And Zubac down low is a problem too. Like,
big body.
And then
you ain't moving that dude.
They got a few people on the bench like Bogdanovic, who you're kind of familiar with, and then Derrick Jones Jr. They get double digits. But overall, that defense is locked down. I'm pretty sure they're second in the league. I mean, second in the West in defense. I think they're the second team behind the Thunder. So, man, the strap down in that series is going to be serious. They're going to be physical. They're going to be getting under Russ's skin. They're going to be getting under Joker's skin. You know what I mean? And they're not going to have proper leadership on the bench no more.
I mean, the one thing I will say.
And I'm talking about by the head coach, not not the players. Because
some players don't need coaches. LeBron's gotten rid of 1 million coaches. He still got the job done.
He did, but not when there was only like a week left in the season, and then not when.
I don't think he ever got to fire a coach this late in the year, but
hell no. And then like normally, what's funny you're saying that though, because normally I would say in this situation I would almost guarantee the Clippers are gonna win this series 4-1, or even maybe sweep, just because of the craziness and chaos that's going on over there. But at the same time, they got Russell, they got Joker, you know what I mean?
And they got Aaron Gordon.
They got Aaron Gordon, but they got Jamal Murray too. Now, they do got a couple more deep players too.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, I was talking about kind of leaders themselves. Like Joker, Russ, and even Murray in a sense, they kind of can lead, you know.
Absolutely.
And they're good leaders. They're good teammates. They're good players. They love each other, you know what I mean? So they could have a chance to still. I wouldn't be shocked even if they won the. I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked if they won the series. They're still favored to win in the series, by the way. So, I mean, it wouldn't be shocking at all. But at the same time, I can't see it happening. So I'm going to say the Clippers are going to win this series 4-2. It's going to be it's tough seeing Denver go out like this. I know. It's hard to imagine. But this is a weird year. Plus, I've already heard of, like, Russ going to Miami next year and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if any of that's true, but.
Come to the Wizards.
I feel like they just kind of fell apart at the wrong time for sure. And it doesn't make no sense about their coach getting fired. Why wouldn't they just wait till the end of the year? Like, are they scared that they might win the championship, then they can't fire him? Like what was it really? You know,
I mean, maybe.
I guess, but we're going to go ahead and get to the third and final series that we're going to preview. This is the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. This series was also split 2-2 during the regular season with it also split 1-1 at each other's place.
Okay.
Now Minnesota is really good defensively and physical in general. They got Randall, Reed, Edwards, and Gobert, bro.
Yeah.
You talking about physicality? Did you hear who I just named?
Yes.
Who's not physical? That
all defensive first team, all defensive second team.
Bro, like, man, that's crazy. In a playoff series, going 7 games, it might not go 7 games, but in a 7-game series, filling in multiple games in a row.
Yeah, that's gonna get annoying for the Lakers real quick.
It's gonna get really annoying. And guess who they're going up against? Luka and LeBron. You even got Lakers gear on, which is we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But whole time though. There's no way. What's going to happen when Luka starts getting physically bodied and then he starts crying? You start seeing him crying. And then you just see LeBron just crying. They're just getting physically. Who are they going to go to? AR? Austin Reeves?
Ant-Man going to get busy on them watch. Ant-Man going to get busy.
Bro, is he ever? But who are they going to go? Are they going to go to Roy Hachimura?
They might.
However you say his name.
Rui
That was my boy from
Hachimura.
Gonzaga, man. Back in the day.
I mean, he will. We did get him. We drafted him.
But at the same time, come on. And then y'all think D'Angelo Russell's gonna show up? Hell.
Wait, is he still? They still with the Lakers?
Is he even with them?
That's a good question. I don't think
like is he still in the league? Like
he was there this year.
I mean, he was there in the beginning. But
I don't even think he is. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I don't understand who they're gonna go to. Who are they gonna go to?
Who can they run to?
Well, but y'all are telling me right now, LeBron and Luka are gonna lead themselves past them. I mean, by them, just them two are gonna go past them for. Did y'all hold on? Let me repeat that real quick. You got Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Who's gonna absolutely be just bodying people offensively and defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Gobert down low.
Yes.
Just, man, I don't even got to say no more about him. Then you got Nas Reed. He's out there not only getting physical, but he's hitting buckets. And then you got Randall. Man.
They're deep at the bigs.
Man, I don't know what they're going to do to the Lakers. A lot of people like the Lakers in this series. I even saw the line movement went up in the series, too. Like, when I saw it come out last night, it was like the Lakers minus 140. I think it might have been minus 150. I got to double check. But by the night, it was minus 190. That's a crucial movement. You know what I mean? But that's just them people feeding in. I don't believe it's going to happen for a second. I just don't. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But overall, Minnesota will just be too tough unless the refs start cheating, like I was saying. Because you're going to look over, you're going to see Luka crying, LeBron crying to the ref. You're going to get so sick of it. You're going to start to hate him as usual. TJ's not because he got the Lakers gear on. But every other player.
Don't get it twisted, though. I do have the Lakers gear on, but I've never been a LeBron fan ever. You know what I'm saying? Always was a Kobe fan. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like for this series specifically, Minnesota is going to be a little more physical than the Lakers, and it's really just going to come down to who's going to hit shots.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And what's going to end up happening, you know who is going to hit shots? Just as Ty was saying. Who's going to hit shots, Ty? Tell him again.
Ant-Man.
Man, that boy's going to go off. I think this is going to be an epic series for him. I really do. He's definitely going to be the deciding factor in this. And he's going to have such a good group of guys around him just help. He ain't going to get bullied. Who's going to bully Ant?
I can't even lie, yo. He's one of my favorite players right now, yo.
Yeah, probably ever already.
I
remember watching him back at Georgia by himself. He ain't have not one player with him, bro. I think they was like 500. They was some shit. But
he a dog.
He
a dog. He didn't want to take it. Let me go get it that. He a dog.
Chill.
He a dog.
He is though, for real. He might be the biggest one in the whole NBA.
Yeah, that boy can ball, yo. Like from a
true.
ball standpoint, he's one of my favorite players right now, yo.
That's why I just don't understand. Who's gonna shut him down? Y'all telling me LeBron's gonna shut him down?
LeBron doesn't have the speed anymore.
Who's guarding him?
LeBron's going to get his own, but sparingly. But LeBron's going to definitely have an impact. But
Luka don't play defense.
They're both going to have an impact. But I think it's going to be
a problem.
It's going to be their supporting cast. They both. I think LeBron, Luka going to get their man, but I think their supporting cast is what's going to fall through for them. You know what I mean? On a real, I think
Jackson Hayes
exactly.
Step up.
Yeah, they'll do. I'm not saying LeBron and Luka are gonna get shut down the whole series, but at the same time, like you said, you gotta depend on the supporting cast at some point, and they're just not. And they're gonna be beat down too. Their supporting cast, they're gonna get beat down.
That means they got Austin Reed. But
that's what I'm saying. That's
so much.
That's the only
He's
dude.
not guarding Ant-Man. That's the problem.
He's not guarding Ant-Man.
He ain't even gonna be nowhere near.
Oh my God!
I wish they would put him on.
Oh my gosh, Ant might have 150 points.
Yeah.
He gonna break
Per
Wilt's
game.
record.
Look, per game.
Damn.
The other factor that we're forgetting is who's their head coach
On the Lakers? JJ Redick?
How many playoff games has he ever won?
Well, interesting enough, I believe he won one on the Clippers.
He might have. I don't.
The Donald Sterling year.
I'm not sure.
They were about to go to the championship, but they lost.
I'm not sure.
Due to the owner doing dumb shit.
You might be right. I gotta go back up and look up his Clippers record. Yeah. I do gotta look that
Chris
up.
Paul was on the team.
I will admit, my bad. I will admit that was a mistake I made. I forgot to look up his Clippers record. If our phone was definitely better on definitely better on the thing, I would definitely look it up. But our phones are both dead, so I can't really look that up too much. But
Facts.
At the same time, I just don't see him coming out here and out coaching the man on Minnesota, which is damn, I forget his name. Oh, Chris Finch. He's actually 12-15 in the playoffs, so he has great playoff experience as well. And then under normal circumstances, like I said, I'd have the Timberwolves probably winning like this series in 4-1. I ain't gonna lie, I think it's gonna get ugly, but I think the Lakers are gonna get calls. I really do.
I mean, they should. I mean, yeah, I think both teams are gonna get calls.
So they're gonna definitely at least win 2 games, I think, with those calls. So I have Minnesota definitely winning 4-2 in that series.
Okay.
I know you probably like the Lakers a little bit more in that series than I do.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I want to, but realistically, Minnesota's too tough.
Yeah.
There's too much for the Lakers are a lot older. Minnesota's a lot younger, quicker, faster, stronger, bigger.
Yeah.
Too many steep hills to have to climb up.
They're a tough team to play in the 7-game series for sure.
Facts.
But the next thing that we're going to get to real quick is who we think is going to come out of the East and West. The first team that I think is going to come out of the West is going to be OKC. I think they'll win the West. They have the best point guard in the planet. They have the best defense by far. The points per game differential compared to their opponents' points per game is sickening. It's crazy. It's just they're just way too deep and basically one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the league while having the best defense. And that home court at OKC is a problem.
Unreal.
So I definitely have OKC coming out of the West. Who do you got coming out of the West?
I'm gonna second that. I got OKC coming out the West too.
You like OKC out of the West? Now my sleeper out of the West is gonna be Golden State. It might not be that big of a sleeper that in reality, but it is because they're in the play-in and they're at 7th seed. So if they go far, that definitely would count towards a dark horse. And I definitely feel like Golden State has a nice path, especially if they beat Memphis, because like I said, they'll play Houston. And then they'll play the winner of the Lakers and Minnesota. And I actually do feel Golden State matches up pretty well versus them.
Either one of them. Yeah, I'm with you.
So, and then in the Western Conference Championship, I mean, that's just going to be tough no matter what, who you got to play there. And then the NBA Championship speaks for itself as well. But that's why I kind of like, I was almost going to go with the Clippers as my sleeper, but they had a tougher path than Golden State. Looking at the past is really key in this. And
absolutely.
The Clippers got to play Denver first, and then they'll have to play OKC probably. So that's just tough. And plus, Denver and OKC got home court advantage, which makes it tougher. So who do you got as a Western Conference sleeper?
I'm gonna take Minnesota.
You like Minnesota?
Yeah. Again, like we said, they have a team that's solid. Pretty good coaching, a lot of good ballers, size, depth. All recipes and keys to success in the Western Conference.
I like that. I definitely like that. I could definitely see Minnesota being a problem. I could see them even beating Golden State if they did end up playing them in the next round. Or Houston, of course. If Houston does beat Golden State, I think Minnesota matches up really well versus Houston. So I'm definitely with you on that Minnesota. I'm scared of them even for OKC if they make the Western Conference Championship, to be honest. So I'm fully with you on that. Now, the East Coast team I feel like is going to go is Boston. I don't think I have to say too much about why.
That was my pick, too.
I don't think that there's too much competition out there for them. I think they match up real well versus Cleveland, and they're going to match up real well versus the Knicks. So they're by far going to be the hardest team to beat in the East. And absolutely. Brad Stevens, as long as he's the GM there, they're just going to continue to shine because he's literally a basketball god, bro. The best thing he does is just bring in role players that know their role. And when you got Jason Tatum playing with them boys that know their role, it's a problem. People do hate on Jason Tatum for some reason.
I don't know
even
why.
The media. But if you put your money up against Jason Tatum, you'll immediately understand why he's a problem. You'll be watching that game like, man, why does he just keep scoring? It's not even flashy. Like he don't stunt. He don't really do unnecessary things.
Just gets the job done and gets back on defense.
And you're just so mad when you keep watching him coming down the court, just destroying you, and you learn why you can't mess with him quick. So I'm real big on Boston to go. I think it's not really going to be a competition for Boston. They're going to get there pretty much easily. And then the only sleeper I have I didn't really have a sleeper in the East, but if I had to go with one, I guess I would go with Indiana. Because first off, they got the second best home record in the East. They're 29-11 at home overall. You know what I'm saying? And then they also average the most points per game out of any top 6 team in the league. So when you average the most points per game and you got a good home record,
that's also a recipe for getting deep into the playoffs.
And they might even miss Boston, because somehow Boston gets miraculously upsetted. All they got to worry about is Cleveland next round. I think they're going to get by Milwaukee. So at the end of the day, I don't really think they're going to. I mean, at the end of the day, out of any team I see going out of the East far that's a 4 seed or higher is definitely Indiana.
Okay.
Who's your squad?
Well, yeah, my thoughts were Boston, taking the East, going out the East.
Damn.
And for a sleeper,
I know it's tough because, like I said,
the East is weird, man. I don't know if there is a sleeper in the East, to be honest with you.
I don't know. Like I said, the only one I could really come up with was Indiana.
Yeah, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. Because honestly, I don't see the Pistons beating the Knicks. Cleveland's gonna sweep. Maybe not sweep, but they're gonna take care of business here.
They might, because they'll probably play like Miami.
And none of them's gonna beat
Chicago
Boston. So it's like, yeah, Detroit would have to be the sleeper pick for me, but
you don't really got that much confidence.
I don't got that much confidence in it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But overall, in the championship, I do have OKC beating Boston strictly because of the defense. I think they might be able to shut down Boston compared to other teams and score more than Boston for obvious reasons. So I'm going to definitely go with OKC to win it all this year. They're at plus 180 right now, so I definitely hit that. And that is my favorite team, but it has nothing to do with why I'm that confident in them to win it all. Like, I really am. This is their year for sure.
They've been balling.
Like, for real.
They've been balling.
Who do you got in? And you also have the same finals as I do then, Boston and OKC.
Yes.
And you are the Florida man, the national championship winner. So, can you make it back to back? That's the question.
All right,
it seems like it's going to stay chalky here, too.
Yeah, a little bit. So,
as it normally does in the NBA.
I believe we're going to get Boston to win the championship again this year.
You like Boston?
Yeah, just for the simple fact that, like, if you look at how Boston has as many championships as they do, they don't just get one. They get 2. They get 3. Then they come back and get another 2. So, like, if history is going to repeat itself, it's going to be them.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that at all. If I had to pick another team, I guess it would be Boston. So
and I'm saying that wearing a Lakers hoodie. So,
right. That's the craziest part about it all, right? Crazy. But you got to be truthful when you make these selections and go with your brain over your heart. That's most important when you handicap. Just remember that.
Absolutely.
So the final thing we're going to get to is the future bets. We got 3 of them for you here today.
All right.
The first one's actually going to be Orlando minus 5.5, and then Golden State minus 6.5. We're going to put $50 on that, and we're going to profit $132. So once again, these is $100 fantasy play. So we're going to put 50 out of the 100 on Orlando minus 5.5 and Golden State minus 6.5.
Okay.
The next bet's going to be a series bet. So these are for the series. We got the Knicks minus 2.5. So that means they have to win at least 3 games to 1 or sweep them outright. That's at plus 112. Then we got Minnesota to upset the Lakers at plus 164, just straight up. And then the Clippers just to straight up win that series at plus 102. $30 there profits you $309. And then the final thing that we're going to do, we're going to take a chance, TJ.
I like a chance.
And I hate Golden State, but we're going to put a dub on Golden State to win it all.
A dub on the Dubs?
Yeah. We're going to put a dub on the Dubs to win, to profit 300. So we definitely going to take it. I just kind of feel like they could. I feel like a dummy if I didn't do it.
They can absolutely do it.
Yeah, I definitely got to put something on that. But I don't blame nobody if they just want to put their whole life savings on the Thunder. Because this is their year. I'm trying to tell you. I know you like Boston, but the defense going to be where the difference is made in.
I believe it. Yeah, I can see it.
That boy SGA is going to be a problem.
I'm making my prediction off of what I've seen historically.
Nah,
so.
but you are right and correct. And Boston is definitely got more experience. So in the finals, it might come down to that. OKC hasn't been to the finals in many years. So none of the players, at least on the squad, have been to the finals. So yeah. But overall, remember,
none of the players were even born the last time OKC was in the finals.
I don't know about that, bro. Now we taking a little too far, bro. But remember though, none of these are official plays. If you want to see the official plays, you have to follow my Instagram. That's at Best Picks Best Picks in DMV on Instagram. You see them throughout every day when there's playing or playoff games. Just make sure that y'all tune into that to get finalized plays. There will be an overall record kept. Like I said, I went 45-40 during the college basketball tournaments, including the conference and all the postseason tournaments.
Which is good. That's good.
That's decent, but we want to get above 56.5% for this one. So that's what the goal is. That's what we're going to do. I also want to just say, basically, that we're definitely going to have to make up for our fantasy $100 plays as well compared to what we did on the last one. But like I said, it's a little tougher for me to do it like this because I don't really come up with future plays too much. I usually do them more the day of and stuff like that. But for right now, we'll settle with what we got. So that's what we'll do. And so with all that said, I want to say thank y'all to all the supporters for sure. I also want to say we appreciate all the feedback that we can get. So in the comment section, make sure y'all say anything. I don't care if it's positive, negative, whatever y'all need to say, definitely say it. We appreciate it all. Y'all can also feel free to leave a tip. Like I said, I don't really believe in paying for services or paying people for picks. But if you want to go in on picks with somebody and you win, like I said, you got to kind of tip them. So I believe I tip for good services because I appreciate it. So just make sure if you feel that way, you do that as well. I also have a special announcement on Friday. I think it's May 2nd. We're going to do a Kentucky Derby preview special. We'll have my father here we'll say he's a real good horse handicapper. He likes to turn small money into big money. We're trying to teach TJ how he does it. TJ and Ty really don't follow horses as much as we do, but they're definitely going to get in tune also along with you guys on that. So definitely stay tuned with that. And I also want to say that there will be a second part to this podcast segment as well, which will be, I heard that the conference finals should begin May 20 and 21st, but there's a chance they move them up to May 18th and 19th, I guess, depending on how the series goes. So the next podcast will definitely come between May 16th through May 19th.
Okay.
I'm going to keep y'all up to date on that. And then if y'all got any questions, feel free to hit me on the email, which is bestpicksindmv@yahoo.com.
Yahoo!
Yeah. And then we also got the Facebook, which is about to get rolling more. Right now, that's not rolling, but it's definitely going to get rolling more. The spelling on there is kind of weird. Make sure y'all check how the spelling is up top, but it's Best Pick in DMV with a space in between. So just make sure you look how that's spelled on top. And then also my IG, of course, which is Best Picks in DMV. And like I said, I'm here with my co-host, TJ Virgil, my producer, Ty. He definitely also runs Virgil Photography. They also do a podcast, 420 Friendly Podcast.
Yes,
make
sir.
sure y'all tune into that. I'm going to definitely be on that again real soon, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that as well. Ty, there anything you'd like to say?
I mean, I just want to say thank y'all, you know what I mean, for everybody for tuning in. And yeah, definitely check out the 420 Friendly Podcast. And the Audio Alchemy joint too. I'm going to push that too.
Yeah.
So this little music joint, you know what I mean, going there.
Yeah, definitely get hip to that.
Right.
Because one thing Ty doesn't know is good music. So
yeah, I play music. I know my music. I got a little quiet.
He got me a lot hit to a lot of stuff back in the day. So
True.
Yeah, Ty and TJ's music. I mean, all of them. But yeah, you already know. So go ahead, Ty.
Yeah. So yeah, just tune in. You know what I mean, and keep supporting here. Once again, man, y'all tip this man. Tip this man. Screen that QR code. It's on the screen. Y'all see what the Cash App is on the bottom.
Right there.
You know what I mean?
Because it's well worth it.
Right. You know what I mean? Y'all done won something. Tip that man. Y'all, you know what I mean? So, hey. Because if y'all win, we win.
Yes, sir.
You know? So,
we're trying to help y'all. Right. Just like we helped y'all through the last one.
Exactly. Tried to tell y'all.
But yeah, definitely stay tuned. TJ, Wu, anything you want to say?
I'm gonna hit y'all with the basics. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that follow button.
Please do.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Should have been
follow the Instagram. Tell your mama, tell your pops. Best Picks DMV. We in here.
All right, we'll see y'all.
We out.
Where you at, Virgin Photography? There you go. He right behind.